Yeah, the British really led out well in that World Cup. In the first quarter, they got their bows about half a canvas in front of the Germans in the first 250, 300 metres. It's not quite the same crew. We've got Oliver Cook has come in the bow seats, the Oxford University rower, and Tom George in the two-seat. But the British will go out hard. There's no other way to race eights. Little correction on steering from Martin Zau there. He was drifting just a little bit towards the British. He had to put the rudder on. There you see Johannes Ocek, the Budovrain, Schweiner, oarsman in the stern. Sets a beautiful rhythm. Lance Treadle, the Cambridge University oarsman, likewise. Such a fantastic strikeman there.
Yes, there's just nothing like the start of an 8 race. There's so much power coming off the cruise.
Well, the Germans have blown the British away early doors. I wasn't expecting that at all. Normally they're very, very quick from 250 through to 650, but they have gone out with a purpose, Sean.
Well, let's just say the Germans have been watching racing all week. They've seen the upsets. People change their race plans when it's a match race. It's not 6-lane racing. They want to get the early lead.
So the Germans had that early lead. The British have now start to come back with a purpose, led by Lance Treadle. There you can see James Rudkin, the Newcastle University oarsman, behind him. What a Henley they've had. The big man Adam Neal in the 6th seat from Leander Club. All 6'6" of him. Massive power that he could develop there in the stern of the British boat. But the Germans are just edging out, Sean.
They just have so many medals in that boat. I'm surprised it hasn't sunk. 17 World Championship Olympic medals, countless European Championships, and they're using every bit of that weight of those medals to get the early lead.
They've got a coach, new coach this year, Uwe Bender. Normally Ralf Holtmeier has worked with the German 8. He's taking a year out. There we ride with the British. A lot of men from Leander Club. You can see the jerseys. Just Lance Treadle from Cambridge and James Rudkin, the 22-year-old from Newcastle University. And up in the bows, Ollie Cook getting his first ride in the British 8 this season. He will be racing in Lucerne in a week's time. The Oxford University and former University of London rower. There's a shot of his back there, Sean.
Yes, it's certainly a kaleidoscope of colour for the British 8 with all the different members of different clubs and universities racing in their first national team, really. For the senior level.
And we saw a fantastic exposition of rowing from the Dutch women's 4 in the race before, and we've now been treated to a great exposition from the German 8. A really flat drive, blades going so quick at the front end, and they're right on the legs. There's hardly anything in the arms and upper body. I mean, you wouldn't know they were doing anything on the front end there, would you?
Not really. But again, in 8 race, it's all about power. Being clean, of course. You don't want to kill the king's fishes as you come down the river, but just clean.
So the German 8 have changed their gearing. The Olympic 8 that finished second to the British rode on an 83cm gearing. But when they saw the tailwind at the Europeans, they brought their gearing in 82.5, and that's what it is now. A little tighter gearing. And in these tailwind conditions, that's giving them a little more solidity, Sean, and just helping those blades just hold up in the water a little more.
Well, I have to say, I did do a little spy work, and I was in measuring their boat and oars earlier this week in the boat shed at 6:30, and the Germans have a very heavy gearing, which really helps them get off the start. If it was a headwind in a tight race, it would make a difference in the end. But look at this. What a commanding performance.
I bet you the Germans are really not as strong as the British crew on the 2,000-metre ergometer, and their probably average ergometer score is lower than the British, but probably their gearing is harder, and they can do that presumably because of their technical cohesion and precision.
Absolutely. I mean, they're much more efficient throughout the stroke.
So there's the back of Johannes Wiesenfeld, the Westfalen oarsmen. Behind him, Felix Wimberger, then Max Planner, 2 men from the 4 in the Olympics, made a brilliant transition to the 8. At 4, Torben Johansson, and then Jakob Schneider. He's made a fantastic transition coming in from the German under-23 8. And then the 4 men who took silver in the Olympics, Malte Jaszak, Richard Smith, the 7-man Olympic champion in London 2012, Johannes Ocek, the strokeman, we've seen him, and Martin Zau. You can see the diminutive Zauer in the cox's seat. steering straight down the booms. He's not going to have to worry about coming over. Sometimes he likes to send puddles down to the other crew, but he's not going to get the chance to do that this time.
And the Brits were a bit behind the 8 ball, having totally cleared the shelves for the 8s from last year winning the Olympic gold medal. They had to restock it with all new people.
You know, this is a fantastic opportunity for the Brits. They're racing everywhere this year. They came to the first World Cup, they came to the Europeans, the second World Cup. They're going to race in Lucerne. These young men, you know, from 22 years of age up to 28 years of age, but they're young, they're new, and they really want to put their imprint on the great British system, and this is part of the experience. You know, it's not going to be nice losing to the Germans at Henley, but this is what will make them strong, this is what will make them tough, and this is what will get them hopefully to a medal in Tokyo.
Absolutely, I think it's right on the British team. They're playing the long game. The real prize is Tokyo, 4 years away, defending their medal. You have to get young people in the racing situation, get the butterflies in their stomach.
So that's the mark on the back of Johannes Wiesenfeld, the mark of Deutschland Actor. You can follow them on social media, Facebook and Twitter. They've got an account all to themselves. It is the boat in German rowing. Nobody else really wants to know about any other boat, Sean.
Look at that blade work. It's fantastic.
As they look out, as they come towards the finish, the last 5 strokes, another masterclass in rowing from the German crew in the Grand Challenge Cup. They drift across the finish line. And the British, well, they had an overlap at the finish. Germany take that contest. Confirmation, Passauer and Treviris from Germany beat Leander and Newcastle University by just over a length.
Attention!
So a shot of the Germans as we start there, Sean.
Look at how clean the hands are around the finish. 44 strokes a minute.
Yeah, nice.
Picking it up so light and bright.
Nice release. A lot of work in the front end, patience, then early release. British were competitive there throughout the race, really, but certainly it was the middle of the race where the Germans did the damage, just like they did in Poznan. We're just hearing that the winning time, Sean, was 6:05, which is not a record in this event, so conditions not as fast as they were when the record was set.
But again, I don't think that would really matter to the German crew. It's winning that counts. I never really cared about the time. It just has to be quicker than the crew behind you.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, I've enjoyed working with you this afternoon. I'm now going to hand the microphone to Sarah Cook of Australia, who will accompany you and the rest of us through the afternoon's programme. It's been a great pleasure working with you, Sean.
Thank you, Martin.
Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.